how are you today? I hope you are doing fine. Today we have some topics review, and then we'll start a new one. You are ready, aren't you? Let's start. I'm gonna tell you the plan for today's class. First, we will be practicing verb tenses and tag questions. Then we will learn a new topic. And finally, we will go over common mistakes when following instructions. Are you ready? Before we start our class, let's go over the rules. The first one, think and speak in English. Another rule is don't stop the class. Sorry if you hear noises, that's life. Once you start the class, don't stop to go away. Don't go away. Don't get the class interrupted. Stay, only pause the video to write answers. And then keep going. Another thing, if you don't understand something I say or something I explain, repeat that part of the video. Watch the video again or check the book information. Okay? And the last rule is to get your materials ready before class. Okay, we are ready for the topic for today. Reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns, if you look in the book page, we'll go there in a minute. There's a chart. There's a list of reflexive pronouns. But what I want to explain to you, I want to tell you is when we use the reflexive pronouns, how we use them, okay? So, just like in every single class I've mentioned, it is important that we identify the subject and the predicate in the sentences we read, write, or say. Subject, predicate, and remember that it's very common that in the predicate we find the verb. Okay. Reflexive pronouns are said to be words. They are words we use like this. What is the subject in the sentence? What is the subject? Danny. Danny is the subject. We're saying things about Danny. Now, what is the verb? Presents. What is the predicate? Presents Danny to the class. Subject, predicate. Again, read the subject. Read the predicate. Good. Now, what's the verb? Now, what is the direct object? Presents what? Danny. This is the direct object. Object. I'm going to write object. Okay? Direct object. Now, the rule for reflexive pronouns says when the subject and the object are the same, Danny, Danny. That's the same. Danny, Danny. When the subject and the object are the same, we don't repeat the subject. We replace the object to one of the reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. Okay? Now, is that clear? Remember, subject, predicate. Super, super, super important. Subject, predicate, verb, direct object. Subject and object are the same. We don't repeat the subject. We replace the object with a reflexive pronoun. Now, let's go to the book page and see what the reflexive pronouns are. It's page 95. There we have a chart. I'm going to show you the chart. In the chart, we have the first column for pronouns, the second column for reflexive pronouns, and the third column for examples. What I need you to pay attention to is the second column, the reflexive pronouns. It is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. There are 7 reflexive pronouns. Can you read the first one? Myself. Second, yourself. Himself or herself. Itself. Ourselves. Yourselves. And themselves. Okay? And then, if you look at the pronoun column, you'll see the pronouns that we usually use in the subject and the pronoun that corresponds to that pronoun, the reflexive one. Can you now read the pronoun and then the reflexive pronoun together? Ready? I, myself. You, yourself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. We, ourselves. You, yourselves. And they, themselves. Super, super easy. Now, I need you to please go down to activity 1. And the first thing there is to read instructions. Complete the sentences by writing the correct reflexive pronoun on the line. So, remember what we did in this example here about Danny? You have the sentence. First, identify subject and predicate. Then, identify the verb. Next, identify the direct object. Later, you compare if they are the same. While you look at the subject, you can also check if you have a name like Danny, which pronoun corresponds to Danny? What word can you substitute it with? He. Okay, so he, himself. Okay? Now, that is something you will do at home because it's very simple. But remember, I explained with time-ordered words the procedure to answer the activity in the book. Okay? That's your first homework. Then, on the second page, which is 96, same thing, but it's easier. You need to read the sentences, circle the reflexive pronoun that completes each one correctly. Does it say right? Does it say match? It says only to circle the correct reflexive pronoun. Same thing, remember the procedure. First, read the sentence. Then, find the subject. Next, find the verb. Next, identify the object pronoun. After that, check if the subject and object are the same. And finally, replace the object with a corresponding reflexive pronoun. Check the process. Okay? Well, that's it. I know you'll do all right. Just remember, read carefully, analyze the information. You'll do it. Thank you. See you next class. Bye-bye.